Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Hidden in Plain Sight. This will be the fifth installment of the Black Nobility family. If you have not seen the first four, please check them out so that way you can follow along. Now, continuing from where I left off, now we're getting into Jeffrey Epstein and more of today and how it has affected the world concerning the Black Nobility family. Jeffrey Epstein's peculiar Arabic-style temple stood on a Caribbean island. Islands are an important feature of the Sabbatean Templars, who served the black nobility. Epstein holds a Saudi passport and was an actual Saudi citizen. Who did he really work for? Where did he come from? Is his handler or was his handler Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of media mogul Robert Maxwell? Is it a coincidence that the island was next door to another owned by Richard Branson, head of the aptly named Virgin Corporation? You see, the term virgin, in this sense, refers not to females, but to the male castrati, or servants of the sisterhood. What relationship do these crumbs have with top royals? Are they agents, brokers, traffickers, or worse? No surprise to find that Jeffrey Epstein was a member of both the CFR and Trilateral Commission, as well as other orgs directly controlled by the black nobility family. The odd design of the mysterious temple was almost identical to those in ancient Egypt, or ancient Aleppo, near Edessa. What a coincidence, right? Additionally, one of the alpha lodges of Freemasonry is known as the Club of the Isles. One of its most prominent members was Prince Philip, father of Andrew. Prince Michael of Kent, cousin of the Queen, is the head of the super secret Mark Masons. In other words, there are secret societies far above normal masonry, which only royals and their picked minions belong to. Members of these lodges dictate the role that policies of all governments and institutions throughout the world. This is the true Illuminati. You see, in the minds of the political, industrial, and intellectual elites of the overwhelming majority of nations of the world today, there exists a deadly dangerous myth that the British Empire has disappeared from the face of the earth, and that Great Britain, the United Kingdom, is one of little consequence to world affairs. According to this fairy tale, Britain's royal family is a powerless relic of days gone. By collecting its modest pension, fulfilling its ceremonial obligations, and perhaps drawing in a few tourist dollars to justify its upkeep. In the extreme version of this big lie, today's Britain is cast in the role of a benign force in world affairs, a friend of the downtrodden and diligent defender of human rights. Even the recent shameless public displays of marital infidelities by Queen Elizabeth II's baby boomer offspring and the voluminous soap opera news coverage that they have generated have only added to this misevaluation. When dealing with hereditary monarchies, decadence can never be reliably used as an indicator of decline. Rather, it must be understood as a way of life. See, for example, 18th century British intelligence figure Jeremy Bentham's In Defense of Pedestry, the companion piece to his more widely known In Defense of Usury. These two documents convey an efficient definition of the monarchical oligarch outlook. In the minds of many leading world figures, including in Russia, the enemy image of the British Empire of old has been replaced by that of a modern imperial power, the United States of America. The authorship of both of these complementary hopes, the demise of the British Empire and its replacement by the USA as the new great Satan, is traceable to Britain's own vast propaganda and intelligence apparatus, associated with such institutions as British Broadcasting Corp, Reuters News Service, the Hollinger Corp, the Tavistock Institute, the Mont Pelerin Society, Oxford and Cambridge Universities, the British Commonwealth, and His Royal Highness Prince Philip's World Wildlife Fund. With the recent enthusiastic revival of the century-old Anglo-French entity, French intelligence agents and propagandists have joined in the America trashing campaign, especially inside Russia. From Khartoum to Moscow to Buenos Aires, among policymakers and culture shapers, this British orchestrated game of historical revisionism has taken deep root. Its disorienting effect has opened the door, possibly, to grave and irreversible policy blunders. Hence this EIR strategy. So, let's talk about debunking this myth. If the human race is to survive the coming global financial and monetary blowout without going through a protracted new dark age in which billions needlessly die, it would be necessary for the United States, Russia, and China, as the three great world powers today, to revive the World War II alliance against the British Empire, which was the cornerstone of the late U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt's post-colonial strategic vision. The first order of business of such a revived FDR coalition is to dump the International Monetary Fund system and organize a new set of global financial and monetary agreements. Based on sound principles of national banking and scientific and technological progress. These principles formed the basis for the U.S. Constitution and what came to be known during the 19th century as the American system of political economy. Although neither Russia nor China ever achieved the full status of nation statehood, there are powerful forces inside both countries today that aspire to such a circumstance. They are potential natural allies of the United States in an anti-world government, anti-British Empire, anti-IMF concert. To achieve that goal, the circumstances of the collapse of that Roosevelt policy must be grasped. With the untimely death of FDR on April 12th of 1945, a great moment found a little man, FDR's successor and Winston Churchill's willing dupe, Harry S. Truman. Truman succumbed to Sir Winston's vision of post-war Anglo-American strategic partnership, the proverbial British brains joined with American brawn. He approved the dropping of the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, even though the Japanese emperor had sent clear signals via the Vatican and certain reliable U.S. Office of Strategic Services personnel that Japan was prepared to surrender, and even though American military strategists were aware that Japan had already been effectively defeated, largely through the effects of a successful U.S. naval embargo. With Churchill's 1947 Iron Curtain speech in Fulton, Missouri, the last prospects of Russian-American and Sino-American cooperation were scotched, and the Cold War was on. Under Cold War conditions and as the result of the horrors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Lord Bertrand Russell's scheme for using thermonuclear as a battering ram against the nation-state and as a weapon for forging a one-world government under United Nations rubric proceeded apace. At only one point during the Cold War era, during the John F. Kennedy presidency, was there a glimmer of hope of the United States breaking from the Russellite paradigm. 20 years before Ronald Reagan, President Kennedy invoked the idea of peace through strength and strategic defense, launched the Apollo program to put a man on the moon, and revived facets of the American system of political economy through investment, tax credits, and the printing of U.S. Treasury bills, the first step in a move that, had he lived, would have likely led to a severe curtailment of the independent power of the Federal Reserve System. Kennedy paid with his life for this break with Britain and with the Russellite one-world empire. Lord Russell and British intelligence figure Sir Hugh Trevor Roper in 1964 launched the British Who Unalived Kennedy Committee, the first critique of the Warren Commission report to ensure that London's hand in the JFK unaliving and cover-up was never exposed. With a very few exceptions, the United States and the world have been in an accelerated economic and cultural decline ever since the unaliving of Kennedy. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 and the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, bringing to an end the Cold War, defined a moment of great opportunity. British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and her obedient lapdog, U.S. President George Bush, instead accelerated the drive to implement Lord Russell's world government, calling it the New World Order. They set about imposing upon the states of the former Warsaw Pact, IMF conditionalities as harsh as those which spread genocide in Africa, Asia, and Ibero-America over the previous 15 years. With the 1991 coalition war against Iraq, the president was set for the final implementation of a new empire. These plans were disrupted. However, with the 1992 election of William Jefferson Clinton as President of the United States, President Clinton, with some institutional backing, has broken the Anglo-American special relationship and gotten into what Lyndon LaRoche has described as a war and a half with the British. The first step is to bust up the prevailing mythology that the British Empire is a thing of the past. The British Empire is very much alive and well today, behind closed doors at such locations as Chatham House, the London headquarters of the Royal Institute for International Affairs, blueprints for the consolidation of one world empire, drawing upon the resources of the British Commonwealth and the United Nations, have already been drawn up, and construction is underway. The fact that the most powerful nations on earth, not including the British Empire, which is not a nation, the United States, a temporarily impaired but thermonuclear armed Russia, and China have so far stood impotent in the face of IMF diktats and made no effort to prevent the formation of the World Trade Organization, the third leg of the United Nations world financial dictatorship, illustrates the extent to which supranational world government is already a reality. The United Kingdom itself has very little to do with the new British Empire. England, Scotland, Wales, and especially Northern Ireland are today little more than slave plantations and social engineering laboratories, serving the needs of a collection of families numbering no more than 3,000 to 5,000 people who live and work in and around the city of London, a 1-mile square financial and corporate district which represents the greatest concentration of supranational world government. These families constitute a financier oligarchy. They are the power behind the Windsor throne. They view themselves as heirs to the Venetian oligarchy, which infiltrated and subverted England from the period of 1509 through 1715 and established a new, more virulent Anglo-Dutch-Swiss strand of the oligarch system of Imperial Babylon, Persia, and Rome. Among their own ranks, these financier oligarchs refer to themselves as the Club of the Isles, after the original Prince of the Isles, Edward Albert, the son of Queen Victoria, who orchestrated the Crimean War, the Opium Wars, the Russo-Japanese War, and World War I, to consolidate Britain as the primus inter pares of the European monarchies and feudal families. The Club of the Isles, under the direction of British monarchy, and draws in resources and personalities from the Netherlands, Switzerland, France, Germany, and Italy, and orchestrates the actions of a cast of terminally Anglophilic Americans, typified by Henry Kissinger and former President George Bush. To begin to understand the breadth and scope of the British Empire today, it is necessary to look first at the British Commonwealth as the Club of the Isles itself looking at it. In 1995, the RIIA published discussion paper 60 by Catherine West titled Economic Opportunities for Britain and the Commonwealth. West, an Australian professor and business consultant on retainer with Chatham House, made a compelling case that the 52 nations that comprise the British Commonwealth have the potential to dominate every regional economic bloc in the world. From the Group of 77 to the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, to the Organization of African Unity, to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, known as NATO, and even the North American Free Trade Agreement. The Commonwealth, which includes one of every 3 nations on this planet, comprises the largest single voting bloc in the UN General Assembly, making the Warsaw Pact at the height of Soviet-Russian power pale by comparison. The City of London dominates the world's speculative markets, a tightly interlocking group of corporations involved in raw materials, extraction, finance, insurance, transportation, and food production, controls the lion's share of the world's market and exerts virtual choke point control over world industry. In a recent column in the Club of the Isles flagship publication, the London Times, Washington, D.C., Sunday Times bureau chief James Adams candidly admitted that the banking house in the city of London are now laundering 400 billion per annum in illegal narcotic profits. The British Commonwealth subsumes many of the world's most notorious flight capital and hot money havens. The Mont Pelerin Society, the radical free market secret organization founded in 1947 by Friedrich von Hayek and patronized by Prince Philip, maintains the most accurate accounting ledgers on the world's underground economy. How is that possible? Because the Club of the Isles, since the era of the Opium Wars against China and the escapades of Lord Parliament's personal agent, Mazzani, in the last century, has been the leading sponsor and controller of global organized crime. The importance of Club of the Isles control over organized crime cannot be understated. Lord William Rees-Mogg, a life peer in the House of Lords, a former editor-in-chief of the London Times and British intelligence current chief case officer for the propaganda war against U.S. President Clinton, has written recently that the world is moving into a post-industrial third wave paradigm, which will see the erosion of nation states and their replacement by a form of one world electronic fundamentalism. In Rees-Mogg's Brave New World, only 5% of the population, the cognitive elite, or what he calls the Brian Lords, will prosper and enjoy the fruits of modern technology. The vast majority of peoples of the world are doomed to a life of misery. Thank you for listening to another episode of Hidden in Plain Sight. I appreciate your time. And if you like this type of content, please subscribe. Like the video if you enjoy it. Dislike it if you don't. Feel free to leave all questions, comments, and/or concerns in the comment section. Have a blessed day.